and welcome to this episode of Scope. I'm Tracy Pa. Following the unprecedented civil unrest on January 10, 2024, a commission of inquiry was held to find the root cause of the unrest and gather recommendations that can help improve the standard of the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary. The inquiry began on July 22nd with Commissioner of Police David Manning as the first witness in the inquiry. He is currently in a 2-week recess. What started as a protest over pay cut on January 10, 2024 by members of the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary led to an unforeseen civil unrest where opportunists took advantage of the situation and caused disaffection, causing a first-of-its-kind civil unrest in the heart of the country's capital city, Port Moresby. Following this unprecedented event, a commission of inquiry was established with the task of establishing why police did not fully respond to events that eventually concluded with estimated cost for damages at 2 billion kina. Members of the inquiry announced by Prime Minister James Marape in the G263 notice had Justice Batari as chairman. COI members included retired detective Matthew Yuengu as COI Secretary and Pondros Colowin as Senior Counsel on the COI. Specific terms of the reference governing the work of the COI task Batari and his team to inquire into and report whether the current organizational structure is meeting the functions of the police force under the Constitution and, more specifically, whether the current command and control structure is adequate for efficient and effective operations of the constabulary. The current police force is adequately resourced with funding, manpower, resources, facilities, equipment, and welfare to meet the diverse police functions and duties throughout the country. Police personnel trained is appropriate and adequate for PNG situation and in line with international standards and practices. Current operational strategies are relevant, practicable, and consistent with police practices and procedures. There is process of transparent and corporate governance in the prudent management of police operation funds, including those associated with priority areas of law and order. The Police Act 1988 is reflective of the current development and changes to policing in the 21st century. The top management of RPNGC acknowledged of the gathering of protests on or before January 10th, what measures were taken to prevent the protest and establish what had transpired on or before January 10th that had led to members of RPNGC gathering at Unagi Oval. Investigate and establish the cause of the protest and establish why senior members of RPNGC were involved, and if the Human Resource Division and Police Association were aware of the tax and salary adjustments. Commissioner of Police David Manning was first witness of the inquiry. He was tasked to provide specific details on the recruitment process and training capabilities of the force. He first outlined that there are 2 requirement processes of the force. One is the constable recruitment and the other is the officer cadet recruitment. The constable recruits undergo 9 months of training, while the officer recruits are trained for 3 years.
2 primary streams of being enlisted into the RPNGC. One is through the Constable Training Wing, or Recruit Training Wing as it is commonly known, and where we see a individual being trained up to join the ranks of the RPNGC as a constable upon successful completion of the constable training. The other stream is designed to culture and develop the leadership of the organization, and that is through the officer cadet.
Manning said a recruitment qualification is grade 12, medical certificate is profitable because intensive training will be conducted during the course of the training.
Character, we now require references as well as a police police clearance. At the same time, you need to prove that you are medically fit to undergo training, which can be physically rigorous and not just focused on academics.
He said the last recruitment process was from 2017 to 2018, and since then no training has been conducted until 2023, where they revived the recruitment program. From statistics, over 40,000 applied. Of these, 14,406 were selected, while 481 were further selected after the vetting process. He said the 481 were separated into two groups. The first lot passed out recently, while the other lot had begun with their training. When asked by the inquiry why they were separated, Manning said they had to separate them due to lack of facility.
Candidates for recruit training was the final list. We are faced with capacity issues in the college and the Centre of Excellence, and thereby these 481 were broken into two intakes.
In response, Callaway asked Manning to clarify if the required duration for training is enough to produce competent police officers. Manning said training is sufficient because the trained police officers are then supervised when they are deployed. However, Manning said a lack of manpower is needed to further monitor these officers once they are deployed. The commissioner added that the recruitment process for police officers has changed since 2019 when RPNGC employed a private HR company. That HR company is currently recruiting police officers on merit to ensure there is a sustainable process of recruitment in the force.
Concerns relating to nepotism and, for want of a better description, one-talk system. How we mitigated the risk of that occurring during that stage of recruitment. We've, for the first time in the constabulary's history, we outsourced the recruitment process through a private HR company. That HR company was tasked to, or contracted to, not only accept applications online, to also develop a database of all applicants, and then manage from there the actual process itself, which is quite an exhaustive one.
The commissioner added that the government has tasked RPNGC to build a force to 10,000 personnel to ensure there is enough police manpower to tackle lawlessness in the country. However, the commissioner added that at this stage, they are implementing new strategies and policies to ensure they meet the demand of the government.
Tasked to build a force to 10,000 strong. And this is part of the...
How many?
As the head of the police force, the inquiry conducted Manning's interview from the 22nd to the 23rd, before it was stood over to appear again on August 28, 2024 as a witness. After Manning, the Deputy Commissioner of Police for Specialist Operations, Donald Yamasombi, Assistant Commissioner of Police for Crimes, Hodges Eti, and Director Prosecutor Pare Kuyap testified. The COI was adjourned for 2 weeks after its last hearing on August 9th, where Kuyap gave his evidence. Other witnesses who are yet to testify are Deputy Commissioner of Police Regional Operations Samson Kuya, former Commander NCDO Central Assistant Commissioner of Police Anthony Wagambi Jr., Director of Fraud and Anti-Corruption Robert Volo, and Deputy Director of Fraud and Anti-Corruption Timothy Jitu. After the break, hope in Kumpiam's education system amidst tribal conflict and geographical challenges. In In the heart of Papua New Guinea, Senga Province lies Kumpiam District, a place where education faces unparalleled challenges. Tribal conflicts, rugged terrain, and unpredictable weather patterns make this region one of the most challenging to navigate. Yet, amid these difficulties, education persists thanks to the unwavering commitment of families, teachers, and one dedicated school inspector, Daniel Togai.
In the rugged terrains of Kumpiam District, Enga Province, where tribal conflicts and challenging geography pose daily threats, Daniel Togai, a seasoned school inspector, stands as a beacon of hope for education. For 4 years, Daniel has braved the harsh realities of this remote district, overseeing 43 primary schools and 56 elementary schools, determined to keep the doors of learning open for over 700 teachers and countless students. Daniel's role is more than just inspection. He brings hope, stability, and a renewed sense of purpose to schools on the brink of collapse. His mission is clear: to ensure that every child in Kumpiam receives the education they deserve, no matter how remote the school or how dangerous the journey. Education in Kumpiam is not just about schools and teachers, it's about families, the unsung heroes who play a vital role in ensuring that children not only attend school but thrive in their education. Daniel firmly believes that families are the driving force behind education and change in remote communities.
My name is Mr. Daniel Togai. I am from Jiwaga Province and currently the school inspector of Kumpiam District in Enga Province. We usually walk 3-4 hours to reach our school and ensure that education service delivery is set to the people of Kumpiam.
But Daniel is not alone in his fight. Despite the daily struggles of life in this remote district, parents remain determined to send their children to school. They walk long distances, often across treacherous terrain, to ensure their children have a chance at a better future. Families are the glue that hold the education system together, working hand in hand with education officials like Mr. Togai to overcome obstacles. James Timmel, the district education officer, whose steadfast support has been invaluable, has accompanied Daniel on foot, ensuring that education services reach the remote communities of Kumpiam.
We have been struggling. We have been walking distance schools. For the last 10 to 15 years, I have never been having an inspector in the district. Fortunately, in 2021, I have Mr. Daniel Togai, who is from Jiwaga. He was posted to Kumpiam District, and he came here, and he has been very vocal about his work and the importance of the school and the quality of school. And we have been together walking, visiting so many schools.
Daniel's commitment to his role is unwavering despite the risks he faces. His dedication to his job is rooted in a belief that education can transform lives even in the most remote corners of Papua New Guinea.
Despite those problems, I sacrifice myself to serve the people here, ensuring that national department policies are implemented in all schools. Ensure kids, students in schools acquire sufficient education, quality education. ensure teachers are performing to the expected standards that is required to perform in the classrooms.
In Kompiam, the journey of education is a collective effort. The recent introduction of School Learning and Improvement Plans, or SLIP, is just one of the many steps towards enhancing the quality of education. But for Mr. Tongai, it all starts with the unwavering support of families. Parents like this one know the difference education can make. Since Daniel's arrival, schools that were once empty are now filled with eager learners. The community sees the change and they are grateful. The impact of Daniel's work extends beyond the classroom. His presence has brought stability, structure, and hope to the people of Kompiam. The changes are not just seen by education officials, but felt deeply by the students, parents, and community members. The transformation in these schools is palpable. Teachers who once struggled with absenteeism are now motivated and present. Students who were once disengaged are now active participants in their education. The difference is clear. Daniel's commitment is changing lives.
Past time, not one pla inspectors are come visiting school plumipla. School says stop long. Now school, run good. All teachers also absent okay the time. Lo Friday and fortnight day, me plus stop. And not one pla teachers stop school, stop was them. But now you come stop time, school and run good. Now okay the teachers stop inside the classroom, or students stop good. Now learning something good. So, and me make a mouse long out parents long community, surrounding community long, Mandrasa primary.
In Kompiam, 6 schools are so remote they can only be reached by air. Daniel relies on the support of organizations like Mission Aviation Fellowship to reach these isolated communities. Without their assistance, ensuring education in these areas would be nearly impossible.
This is Kompiam district. Kompiam district has 6 flying schools. So I usually take a plane in here, catch on a plane in here, MAF especially, and then go to visit flying schools in Kompiam district. And this is the father of one of the airplanes I usually travel when visiting schools.
Every visit Daniel makes is a reminder that no school is too far, no challenge too great.
Since the school started in 2018, we don't see such someone like him. And the teachers were, just bigot and they don't teach us well. Now since our inspector, Mr. Daniel Tongai, is here, they cooperate and teach us well. We learn a lot of work and we learn a lot from them. So I am happy to see Mr. Daniel Tongai here.
Milton Albert, a student at Montes Primary School, is just one of many who have benefited from Daniel's efforts. For Milton, Daniel's presence means a future filled with possibilities. As we look to the future, the hopes for education in Kompiam remain high. The collaboration between families, education officials, and the community has set a strong foundation for progress.
I'm very proud of him. There are a lot of changes coming up. Comparing for the past few years, a lot of teachers, they are on and off for the classes, not stable, teaching inside the classroom and all this. But as now, I can see that teachers are working inside the classroom, teaching there, finish on time, start on time, and all this. And also, I'm happy that we are learning a lot from Mr. Tongai.
Mr. Tongai's work has also gained the respect and admiration of longtime residents of Kompiam, like Nori Maru, who has witnessed the transformative power of education in his community.
Every parents are happy because the schools are operating, and the entire population of Kompiam is very happy with this inspector because he's sacrificing. He doesn't come from here. He has no relatives in here, but he is sacrificing. And I congratulate him because of his sacrifice.
Daniel's work is not only about today, it's about tomorrow. His efforts to implement school learning and improvement plans are laying the foundation for sustained success. With every school he visits, Daniel ensures that the systems are in place for long-term growth. His dedication has also caught the attention of higher authorities. He was among the first to receive training through the Australian government-supported School Leadership Management Training Workshop. This training has shaped his leadership approach, allowing him to mentor teachers and uplift entire schools. As Daniel continues his work in Compiam, his dream remains simple yet profound: to see every child in his district receive a quality education, one that empowers them to become the future leaders of Papua New Guinea.
The National Sports Institute facility in Goroka has a rich sporting history that resonates with some of the country's best elite sporting athletes, past and present. Despite of financial constraints to maintain its existing facilities and other relevant challenges, the Institute continues to aspire and stay committed to providing the best training, both theory and practical, to our young men and women with passion to pursue their dreams in the sporting space. This includes developing and running relevant programs not only on sports but also focusing on education and the overall human resource development that adds value to the lives of these young men and women to become future models.
Strategically situated in the heart of the Eastern Highlands capital, Goroka, the National Sports Institute's beautiful layout and landscaped grounds and amenities makes it a premier and the best-run sporting institution in the region under the PNG Sports Foundation. NSI is the building block for sporting excellence in PNG, which must be adequately supported by the government as an investment for capacity building and human resource development through sport. Under current director Janet Gimmots, the Institute continues to function and perform within its own means to deliver its programs despite of challenges. Since assuming the role as executive director in 2015, Ms. Gimmots has embraced and taken full responsibility of her role, while at the same time embraced the challenges that come with it, especially in terms of running their programs and maintaining the facilities.
It's been really good being the director of the National Sports Institute because we've been able to initiate some programs and see some developments in terms of infrastructure around the institute. So it's been good. Putting aside the challenges, they are there to make you stronger as well in the role. The kind of funding that we need to maintain and to run the operations of an institute like this is massive. It's very challenging, and I would like to call on the government to recognize how important this facility is to our young people. I mean, we just saw a big event for the PNG NRL bid with young kids, under 19 boys and under 18 girls. And a week before this, we had the Get Into Rugby for Rugby Union, which is an age group competition as well. So this place has the potential to host many more activities, sporting activities.
The director acknowledged and thanked the local business community for their generous support in keeping the institution going. She thanked Eastern Highlands Governor Simon Seo especially, who's contributed immensely to NSI in terms of upgrading some of its facility, including the grandstand and maintenance of the fields. The venue is also used as a home ground to provincial franchise Goroka Lahanis, as well as host to other major and significant provincial events.
The Institute, being a division of the PNG Sports Foundation, depends on government funding to run its operations, and in terms of our programs and the facilities as well. But we've been very lucky to have support from the local community, and especially, as you said, the governor of Eastern Highlands, who is our biggest supporter. I think we are very fortunate.
While giving a snapshot on the profile and layout of NSI, Director Gemot said the institute is so fortunate to have maintained approximately 37 program and support staff full-time. In terms of facility, NSI has the best facilities in the region, including accommodation, gymnasium, lecture theatre, conference room, and dining and multi-purpose hall that can host indoor sports such as netball, volleyball, badminton, and combat sports such as martial art. NSI also provides quality standard outdoor facilities with multi-purpose fields that host multiple sports such as rugby league, rugby union, soccer, cricket, and of course athletics, including non-sporting events. The recent staging of the inaugural PNG NRL Bid Academy Schools Championship has again put the NSI on the map, especially providing the best facility and beautiful hospitality for the visiting teams and dignitaries that made it a memorable experience. The Sports Excellence and Development Program is the nerve center for the National Sports Institute in Goroka, which is tailored towards developing young athletes to achieve their dreams and goals in life and through sports. The program incorporates education and sport that provides opportunity for athletes to further their studies while doing training. This includes setting goals, building good character with good mindset, discipline, and creating a work routine culture that adds value to their lives, especially during and after sport. The NSI is putting more emphasis on grooming and developing young athletes to be better persons during and after sport. Through its Sports Excellence and Development Program, it incorporates education and training to providing athletes the opportunity to upgrade and further their studies while balancing out their sports training. NSI Manager Sports Excellence and Development Program Godfrey Gideon, while giving a brief outline of what the program entails, it is about getting the athletes to learn about setting goals, creating strong mindset, and how to achieve those goals, also learning about good values of life during and after sport.
The programs here at the Institute, we're trying to give every athlete a dream. So in the dream, they must be disciplined. We give them the values, and of course, we create a routine for them in life. That means they have to wake up. It's like going to work. It's a routine they do. And of course, they must have an education. There's life during and after sports that we also are giving them. So the athletes are given opportunity to continue their education. Some who have not completed grade 12 or that didn't do well, they are upgrading. Some who have done that, they are given opportunity to study. So
Gideon said one of the success stories of their program is the Athletics Development Program, which is a partnership between NSI and the Athletics PNG, an initiative of former coaching director late Samu Sasama, which they hope could be extended to other federations.
He started the program 8 years ago, and I think these are the results. So I'm here to just continue to do the work and the vision of the director that this is something that we want to not work only with athletics, but we want to work with other federations. I think the institute this year is well supported by the facilities. We have the dormitories, we have the gym, and of course we have physio services, and of course coaching staff, and they also bring their expertise, and then we provide the field, a field there that they can use as well.
Out of the same program, 3 athletes have been earmarked to travel to the US shortly for further studies and train under existing scholarship arrangement.
And that wraps up another edition of Scope. Thanks for your company. Good night.